curse of the middle class is not, I mean, it's like the worst thing that could happen to you as a man. Where you get content with your paycheck. You just wait. We're in for a wild ride with the economy coming.
As far as what? Okay, jobs or
starvation.
Starting to like go separate before there's like a gray area, like rich, middle class.
Yep.
Or
there's not gonna be a middle class relatively soon. And in my opinion, you're gonna see, at least for a little while, starvation. You're gonna see
Civil War.
I don't know if civil war, hopefully not, but usually when that type of stuff happens, you'll have tons of riots, and people think that's not possible. Right now, Sri Lanka, literally, Sri Lanka.
Same people going against each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's a civil war. They just call something different.
That's good. Good point. Good point. Sri Lanka is right now defaulted, and their economy collapsed. Ecuador, their economy collapsed. Riots and starvation right now. Ghana just collapsed, is in the process of collapsing. Germany's getting close to there because of the Russian natural gas and stuff like that, energy costs. Just wait. This is where you got to learn now to men. What is the number one, I would say, what's the number one trait about a man that makes him successful in whatever area?
Provisional power.
What's that?
Provisional power.
What does that mean?
I think it's to be able to sustain your family with the available resources that are available to you.
That's good.
Like currency, finances, gold.
But how do you get that? How do you get that? That is the result of this one thing. But yes. What?
Yeah, honesty.
Honesty, which is
Or their word.
which you have to have in order to do this one thing. A lot of men don't have this capability today. So, what was it? What did you say? Big balls. That's true. Yep, that's true. Yep, exactly. What else? What do you think? What do you think, Lewis? Love, but that's just going to make you do this one thing. Any other guesses? Very few men do this now.
Prepare.
Sacrifice.
Very close. Prepare. What do you?
What?
Very close.
Plan. Okay.
This is. Those are all after this.
Believe.
Close.
Dream.
Dream. But what does this mean? Like, dream is one thing, but it's very similar to dreaming.
Take action.
Pray.
Not praying. I mean, praying's good, but it's not it. All right.
Men don't do this.
I'll give it to you. Is that
I don't have kids.
men are made to see far. Women are made to see near.
Straight line.
Straight line. That's why at the house, like, you're like, your wife or your girlfriend or whomever is like, yeah, you know, the kids keep leaving their clothes on the floor, and you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do with that? Or you just passed by your something that was broken. I'm like, oh, I did? Sorry. And then she gets pissed off at me that I actually didn't fix it or do it or whatever, right? Because I'm constantly thinking or seeing into the future, seeing the enemy that's way over there.
Your eyes on the horizon.
Eyes on the horizon. Men nowadays are so comfortable with their life that they don't see far anymore. So why do you think they have this? You think it's because of coronavirus? At first it was. Why do you think they have this now?
eliminate,
Less work.
save money. Like,
Save money on what? Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Convenient. Convenient for who?
The people that want to watch what you
Gotta
doing,
pass out the-
Not convenient for me. But yeah, that's another thing that's coming. What was that?
Save them money. The business owner.
But why? Why is it going to save them money?
Pass out
The menus? The menus don't cost that much. They, less
liability,
employees.
less overhead. This thing's not gonna sue you. Like this fucks up your order. You're gonna blame the app. You can't blame the person. Like suing.
Maybe.
All the legal issues.
Maybe.
You know.
But more and more restaurants are doing this where you just get a menu. Why? Why are they doing that? Maybe.
Awesome.
Think of the menu. Think of what's happening and think of the menu.
Constantly evolving.
What's
Because you have to change your menu everything's changing. The prices.
what the price? What's happening to the price of things right now? It's fucking going up literally almost every week.
Yeah.
And a lot of men are like, "Du- du- 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 du. Oh, no." Why do you think it's fucking going up?
Because like you can't see if you're not aware of like it was $6.95 last week because it's printed. And it was printed to stay. Because I know some restaurants how they have new menu every
Scratch
year,
it out.
constant
They
updates.
constant updates
Yeah.
on the menu, which one that's
Blind thing.
you're blind and paying, not paying attention to what's actually going on, and thinking like, okay, this was $5.95 the last time, now it's $6.95. And most men would think, and this was last week. Most men would think, okay, $5.95 to $6.95, that's not a lot, right? Percentage-wise, what is that? Like 5 to 6.
20%.
It's like basically like 20% increase, 15-20% increase. That's a huge fucking increase, right? And if it was prior to that, it was $4.95. Holy shit!
And everyone just agrees. Oh, the gas price up. That's
Yeah,
part of life.
Totally, that's part of life. It's just the way it is.
Margin call. Just watched that
Yeah.
a couple days ago.
Yep.
25% can wipe out a company.
Yep.
Just a 25% drop
Yep.
in like whatever you're going on.
So what does that mean? Why am I even bringing this up? Is that
Corporations are gobbling up all the small.
maybe big corporations are gobbling up the small? Who knows? But the point is, most men don't see this shit, and then they wonder why they're struggling financially. They wonder why they have to say no to going on the family vacation, or they have to say no to whatever, or they have to say they're too busy to think, why is this happening? They want their wives and girlfriends and exes and so on to feel safe and secure and protected and so on. Yet they're not protecting. They're not looking and going, oh crap, okay, this is going up, so I'm gonna have to raise my prices, or I'm going to have to find a different job, or I'm gonna have to ask for a raise, or I'm going to have to. When your wife sees that or girlfriend or whomever sees that, oh, I can't buy my lattes anymore, or I can't get the car fixed anymore, or I can't do whatever, they're gonna be like, why am I with this guy?
You should have saw it coming.
Should have saw it coming.
Take the kids.
Should have saw it coming.
They're there to take care of the kids.
Yep.
And their husband. And
They're
they're like, you take care of all this bullshit going on.
Uh huh.
Are you gonna go raise your kids and figure out the inflation? Yeah,
Yep. Exactly.
you want me to go out there? You want to stay home? Like, oh my god.
Yep.
Like, women, they're 4 years ahead in education. Like, yeah, but take it easy. It doesn't mean you can go out there. Like, but in their head, I'll take things in my own hand.
Yep.
This independence.
And they're right. They're right, because most men are so freaking retarded now that they're gonna protect their babies. Women are gonna protect their babies. I come at it from, I know some of you are single and stuff, but I come at it from a married point of view, or taking care of friends, or taking care of family and stuff. Like you like when your mom was saying like, who the heck is this guy, yada yada yada. Like, if I didn't see far, my grandma would have been screwed, because I'm helping financially to set her up. I'm one of the only ones of the family because everyone else did the normal rat race stuff. Me and my aunt Cheryl are able to take care of her, right? But yeah, ability to see far. This is something where we're told to do certain things and told to pay attention to certain things that we're not. That if you were hunting, if you were or a farmer, imagine yourself 200 years ago. February comes around. It's starting to get green and everything like that. What is your first concern? What's your first thing?
It's starting to be green.
Everything's becoming green. You live up in the mountains. It's country. Like there's none of this that you see. You're a pioneer. What's your first concern? You have a wife and kids that are depending on you. What's your first concern? Food. Okay.
Protection.
Food and protection. So you're probably going to go out and hunt, but you're also a farmer, so you know how to farm things. So what are you going to? You're going to plant the right seeds, right?
The right vegetables.
For the season, right?
Right. You got to be the right one. You can't just plant a bunch of.
You can't just plant. So then what? So let's say you get to the harvest time. So you reap, and then what? What do you do with those plants? What are your concerns with those plants? You can't cheat. You know gardener stuff, Derek.
There's pesticides, there's insects, there's intruders, enemies trying to fucking take your blood.
There you go. There's that.
Whether it be the insects or people outside of the garden.
Yep. Well. So you have to prep things for that, right?
There's.
When you harvest, what do you do with the stuff?
I mean, in this case, you want to sell them after you use them.
Selling them is one, so you get money or barter. What else? Eating them. What else?
Reap more seeds. Get more seeds.
You're dead. What else? Because you're missing something. Oh, sorry. More seeds is one. Yeah.
No, but I hear you.
There's a reason why you would die if you didn't remember this thing. Derek might know.
Might not.
Maybe not.
I mean, is this like a spiritual question?
No.
It's strictly business?
This is strictly survival. This is what you as a man had to know and think about for the future.
Willing to die.
No. For your plants? Like, I'm harvest the plants, I'm looking at them, stab myself. Ugh.
Man, I just kind of like...
So you got their seeds, you got the plants harvested. What else? What you eat some of the plants.
Preserve
what do you do? Preserve, right? Why?
Because they rot out.
They rot out. So now you have to preserve them. And that's shelf life. So canning. Your wife is helping with that. You're doing plan for the future. So this is gonna last you for what? What's coming up?
Winter.
Winter's coming, right?
Yeah.
So then at the same time, you're planting what? Now that that's harvest time, it means you have to plant what? The next season's crop. Because squash don't grow in the spring.
Right, you gotta clear them out.
Yep. Jalapenos won't grow in the spring. They'll grow in the summer.
Yeah.
And so then when those you harvest, preserve all those other for the winter, because when winter comes and you have nothing, during those times you are fucked. You're dead. You're literally dead. Literally dead. That is what's missing with a lot of men today.
Okay.
Is that you don't have the ability to see far. Okay? Like you have to cultivate that. That's where the entrepreneurship stuff comes. That's where the sales stuff comes.
When the Great Depression hits, you're not tripping.
Dude, we're already.
They
They keep saying, "Oh, we're gonna get into a recession." We're already in a fucking recession. They won't tell you until it's far into the recession. Dude, 6 months later, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we've been in a recession for 6 months," and you wonder why you're in the situation you are. So
After that 6-month mark, does it become like something greater than recession?
maybe it depends. Like I think we're going into a depression because you have currencies collapsing, you have bond markets collapsing. So all these other recessions we had, it was the housing market collapsing, or it was the stock market collapsing, or it was the bond market collapsing, or whatever. Now you have the currency, housing, bond, all at the same time.
Plus
Stock
paranoid
market.
people from COVID. Plus political.
Yep. Plus political,
Now
and
Trump coming up, and now they're all thinking. All
you're gonna
this
get
shit.
riots in the street and everything like that. It's gonna be very, very interesting.
And people get bored, so they're just gonna run out there and do it.
When people can't eat, they do crazy things. That's what's gonna happen.
You have your warehouse built already? I'll just come up there and rent a room. Stay away from all.
I have some sheds. They're solar powered. But yeah, so
You got battery?
yeah, like when the power goes out up there, I give the batteries to my neighbor because they're all
You held the roll on.
they're all roll out and stuff. That's one thing. It's funny. My wife is like, every single time my wife is like, this is why you don't listen to women, by the way. You just do what you fucking need to do, and Art's great at that. He's just like, no, we're good. This is what I'm doing. My wife, every single time I got solar batteries and solar power for the house and all this other time, all those, she's like, oh, is this your prepper stuff? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you just watch.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to make love to me when the power goes out, I can tell you.
Yeah, nice.
And every single time she's like, yeah, you were right. Power goes out, everyone else on the mountain, even though they have their own husbands and all those wives have their husbands, everyone else on the mountain so busy in the rat race, not thinking of the future, not taking the risks to be entrepreneurs and stuff. And I'm not knocking them. A lot of them are my friends, but they suffer. Their fridge goes out. You guys don't get to see. You guys will when power goes out here eventually, some point in time. They always talk about it. It probably will happen. If power goes out a couple of days, most people don't realize you can't even flush your toilet because you have no water pressure. Eventually, all the water pressure that's coming from the sewer, the power, the sanitation, whatever, the water people, that stops. And so that's like one of the first things you do, by the way. If power goes out and you know it's going to be out for a long time, fill up your tub and stop it off, because then you can take a bucket, you flush your toilet once the pressure runs out. Take your bucket and put it into the tank of the toilet.
Thank you.
And you think that's never gonna happen. Texas, was it last year or the year before, the ice storms that they have?
Yeah.
They had no drinking water because all the water was like nasty blue. The sanitization of it went bad, so you had to boil the water, and then their water pressure went out, so they couldn't flush their toilets. And so imagine just crap piling up.
That's for disease.
Gross.
And then
No
it's
bueno.
snowing where you're gonna shit like 10 hours away.
Yeah, you ain't going outside because you're trying to maintain heat in the house.
And then some of the houses were caved in.
Yep.
So you're like, oh, your shit over there.
Yep.
And that was Texas, 2020, America.
Yep. It can happen anywhere. All this stuff can happen anywhere. But I'm not saying to be like a scared prepper. The whole idea is take the information you have, see look around you what's happening, and look into the future. Our natural skill set is to look into the future. I don't care what my wife says. I love my wife. She's amazing. She is like the top tier. I wouldn't have had 9 kids with her if I didn't think that. But when it comes to decisions. She worries about now. That's what women are made to do. Naturally. Of course, there's some women, this is in generalities, but we're made to see far into the future, and a big part of that is financial.